And we are live. Good evening to you. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so I can see the comments when they start coming up in another 30 seconds. Well, 30 seconds for me. Possibly half a second for you. I don't know how fast your typing is. You might be the fastest typist in the West. I don't know.
Welcome to Shrove Tuesday.
This isn't Shrove Tuesday. I don't even know when Shrove Tuesday is. It's Tuesday before Ash Wednesday.
Oh, I think we missed that already.
Was there an Ash? When was Ash Wednesday?
Actually, I don't know.
Has Lent started yet?
I think that Ash...
You're that Catholic.
I don't know. I don't do that. I don't do that stuff anymore.
I
think that Ash Wednesday was either yesterday or it's next Wednesday.
Well, I know when Purim is.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that later. Good day, gents all. I am David Anthony, the Foxy Bard.
Yeah, and I'm Twig.
And welcome to another episode of Cooking with Foxy. This is episode 31, I believe it is.
I don't know. I have no idea. I lost track of this a long time ago.
Pretty sure we're at episode 31.
Mm-hmm.
And today we're going to be making onion soup. Because today, after the show is over, we are going to be appearing on Life's Faire. But more on that later. First, we're going to be getting to the onion soup because we're going to be diving right in. First things first, you're going to want to chop up your onions. You're going to need how many pounds of onions?
Oh,
right
2 pounds.
2 pounds of onions. So I've almost finished cutting them up.
I like how they say that
I've got
we
2
used
onions
a
left.
dandelion.
What?
This was the thing that we were debating.
Yeah, I know. I have a confession to make.
Confess this.
Thank you very much. And that confession is that there's at the store we go to get most of our kitchen supplies. There was a mandolin there, which is it's one of those shukung choppy thingies for like deli meats and it's got like a flat plane, an inclined plane, and there's a blade there, and there's a little holster, and it goes. It's the shukung machine.
Yeah,
that's a technical term. Shukung. Can you zoom in on the comments, by the way? I'm still having trouble seeing them. Yesterday was Ash Wednesday, you bad Catholic, you.
Oh, I am a bad Catholic.
Plus button.
Oh, right.
Plus sign. There you go.
Oh, that's as far as it goes. Wait, no, it's not.
There you go. Now I can see the comments from all the way over here.
Yay!
I see that Mark and Naran have arrived. And what were we talking about? Onions?
Yes.
There's
there's the mandolin thing.
We
were like, it's a little too expensive.
Yes,
let's not get it.
And then I took a look at this recipe today and realized, wow, that would have been a smart idea. But no, I'm an idiot. So yeah, instead of using a shakum,
we did it all by hand.
We did it by hand. So first thing you do is you strip off the
As you would normally do.
the skin.
You get the skin off.
Just get that all off. Just take out the outer off the outer couple of layers, and then you got your 2 ends here. You got your arse over here, and you got your nose over here. At least that's what I'm going to call it. I'm sure there's a technical term. Cut off the arse. Cut off the nose.
Oh, Abby's here! Hooray!
Abby has arrived. Hello, Abby. Good to see you. Toss that in there, and then start at this end and just slice it right across, widthwise, that way.
Crunch.
Until you're about halfway along, and then flip it around. It'll make it easier this way.
Whoa.
At least I think so. If you find another way that's easier for you, by all means do that. But I think that this is easier.
Foxy started doing this.
All right.
Slightly before I had walked into the room, and when I walked in, it was like it just pulls you in the face with onion, you know.
Last onion. Got my arse over here. Got my nose over here.
Arse, nose.
Arse, nose. Cut off the arse.
Cut off the butt.
Cut off the nose.
Cut off the butt, and then you cut off the nose.
Put those in the garbage. And then just start slicing away. This would also be how you slice if you're looking to make onion rings. Think of it that way.
Ooh, we should make onion rings.
We should make onion rings at some point. It is not.
Right?
Well, this recipe may or may not be period either.
Well, at least
flipping it around when you're halfway through, it'll be easier for you. Say that again.
At least one ingredient is very not period.
Well, but I don't know that for a fact.
I don't know that either. To be fair, I don't know that.
You might not think that scissors are period, but they are.
They are period. I learned that the other day.
So when you watch a Connecticut and King Anchor's track. Got Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court.
Well, I think the movie is called a kid in King Arthur's court because they were like, who? Nobody likes.
Sorry, you're correct.
Nobody
I am
likes
thinking of a kid in King Arthur's court. That's one where it ends with him getting like bandages taken off of him by a guy with a Swiss Army knife and the chick, right? Am I thinking of a different one?
What?
No?
I don't know if that's...
Maybe, whatever.
I don't think that's it.
The point is that when Merlin is mesmerized by the idea of scissors...
He's like a baseball player.
What?
He's a baseball player. But he's bad at being a baseball
Yes.
player. And then some point during the baseball game, there's like an earthquake because instead of being in Connecticut, because nobody likes Connecticut, they were like, have it be in California instead.
Of course.
Everybody likes California.
It's either in New York or California.
Yeah,
that is where all these things go, and that's
it's
where they
usually
belong.
California because, I mean, that's probably where you're filming anyway.
It'd be true.
So, and then there's an earthquake, and then he goes in, that makes him in King Arthur's court because all you need to do in order to go back to the Middle Ages, sort of, is...
Get caught in an earthquake.
You get caught in an earthquake.
Because that's how time travel works.
Yes.
You get caught in the earthquake, and then you go into the earth, and you come out the other end, and you're in the Middle Ages. The point is that when Merlin is fascinated and confused by the sight of scissors, that is historically inaccurate. He would have been very familiar with scissors, assuming that he existed at all.
Yes.
Which I think he did. Why not? I believe in unicorns. So, now that our onions are sliced up, we need to prepare our onions for the onion soup. Right?
Yeah.
Right. And what are we going to need for that? Give it a guess. You know how we work on this show.
We need some kind of ale, don't we?
No, we'll get into that. Wait for that. Wait for that.
So we don't need alcohol.
Come on. Think of how we do things on this show. We got onions. What obviously comes next?
Cheese?
Wait for it. What's the first thing you do on this show with whatever it is you're making? It's just...
I guessed ale, but maybe it's actually...
It's not beer. It's not beer.
So it's not any kind of alcohol.
It's not beer. It's not alcohol.
It's not alcohol.
It's not cheese.
It's not cheese.
Have you not been paying attention for the last 31 episodes?
When do I ever pay attention? Hold on.
You want me to give you one more shot?
Yes.
Before I pull it out?
Okay.
And get impatient? Alright.
Is it?
Is it?
Is it?
You're trying to take a peek, aren't you?
It's butter!
It's butter.
That's not always first.
Huh?
It's not always first.
It's not always first, but it's often first.
It's a pound of butter.
It's not a pound.
Of butter. It's 4 tablespoons.
4 tablespoons, which is 4 ounces.
Might as well be a pound, though.
But it's not even a pound.
If these onions sit here for any longer, I am going to lose my eyes.
Alright, so you take your 4 tablespoons of butter. And you put your 4 tablespoons of butter into your frying pan.
Here's 4 tablespoons of butter.
What? Stop. Why do you say things that don't even make any sense at all?
I thought I abused myself. I don't know. That's why.
I abuse myself too, but you don't see me doing it in public.
I said abuse, not abuse.
Close enough. Unicorns?
Because you said unicorns.
Oh, right.
So it's unicorns.
Unicorns, right. That took me a moment. I got confused. It happens. And sometimes things just come along and they confuse me. All right, let's get that butter melted. I'm going to chop it up a bit.
Get the booter.
I'm getting the booter.
The booter.
I'm very much getting the booter.
Get the booter.
I'm getting the booter. I feel like we've had that interchange before.
We probably have.
I feel like we have a lot of the same interchanges a lot.
We might.
We might. We just might.
Well, booter never loses its novelty.
It'd be true. All right, so the booter is almost entirely melted, and it will finish melting soon enough. Put that in there. Let's put the onions in there. Sound good to you? Sounds good to me. So let's get the onions in with the booter.
Into the onions. Oh, is that pan big enough for all those onions?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Just big enough.
All right, I believe you.
It's gonna be okay. I believe you. Jump in the line, rock your body in time. Okay. So we are gonna leave these in here for about 10 minutes, or enough time for them to brown. Gabriel de Leon has arrived. It is nice when people come to my show. And good gentles all, I would like to thank all of you.
What is a booter?
What
is it? No, I don't. I don't know. Is it a slang that I didn't even know?
What?
A booter.
A booter?
Yeah,
I'm talking about butter, but pronouncing it wrong for comedic effect. But if there's
booter? You gotta. I can't leave me hanging. You gotta tell me.
There's another thing called a booter that I was unaware of.
Apparently.
Is it a sexual thing?
What's a booter?
Is it a drug thing?
What's a booter? What is it?
What is it? I mean, booter might be butter in Dutch, for all I know. I mean, Butter is in German. I know that from the song.
So how long do those need to like caramelize for?
Well, I was about to tell them, but you keep interrupting me.
Well, fine. Tell them now.
All right, so you want these in here for about 10 minutes or until they start to brown. And whilst they are in here, browning, for the next 10 minutes, I was thanking them for tuning in.
Well, you can do that now.
I'm to do it now. So I would like to thank you for tuning in. I generally appreciate you tuning in every week because it does make me feel like I am serving some sort of purpose. It makes me feel like I am doing something right with my life in general. And because if you weren't here watching me, then I would just be cooking in a small dark room because I wouldn't be able to afford this fancy light. And I would just be talking to myself because I wouldn't be talking to you either. Because I wouldn't be doing this show. And if I'd never done this show, I never would have met you.
I think that we knew each other before this show.
Well, I mean, just did the Foxy Bard in general.
I guess that is true.
Yes, indeed. And now I'm starting to get all existential and weird, which is, I hope you're all right with that.
I'm going to read what a booter is.
What is a booter?
A booter is when you are wearing snow boots or gum boots and you step through the ice or in a deep puddle and get water stuck in it.
All right.
I was expecting something way more, like, explicit than that.
Yeah.
But that actually sounds pretty, like...
Tame.
It sounds
And
pretty tame.
makes
I mean, it
sense.
sounds annoying. I do hate when that happens.
It makes sense that would be the slang term for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, also, whilst this is browning, I would like to tell you about later tonight. Because later tonight, we will be appearing on Life's a Faire. Life's a Faire is a weekly show put on by Andrew McKee, the Irish bard, and we're going to be on the show. Now, we're not going to be doing the show live. We pre-recorded it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you see, Andrew McKee is one of those bards who likes to have professionalism and wants to have, videos that look good and don't get interrupted with internet interruptions that happen sometimes.
They happen pretty frequently.
Yeah, they happen pretty frequently. To be fair, that's happened to us a lot.
Yes, that has happened to us.
I mean, not actually
Quite
that
a bit.
often. I mean, I'd say it only happens about 10% of the time.
Yeah.
But that's still more often than I'd like.
Yeah. Well, for a while we were doing this when we were uneducated pandemic musicians. We were doing this without an Ethernet cord.
Oh, indeed, that was the worst part.
That was
That
bad.
was fun. Those are some interesting days.
Yeah.
Oh, how it's fun to get nostalgic whilst you fry the onions.
But yes, indeed.
Have you ever done that? Just gotten nostalgic while frying onions? I'm going to stop moving them around and just let them be for a
if
little
you let
bit.
them sit, they will brown a little bit better.
All right, just let them be for a little while. Stop bothering them. And, but yeah, so tonight at 7 Central, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, we will be broadcasted. Our pre-recorded show will be broadcasted on YouTube. There's a link in the down there on Life's a Faire. And we will be attending, we will be watching, we will be commenting.
And it'll be awful because, it'll be fun for you, but it'll be awful for us because we'll have to sit there and listen to ourselves sing and talk, which is the worst. But
listening to yourself, recording of yourself is horrible.
It is horrible.
It's
you
horrible.
can make it better.
It's absolutely. But you can make it better by watching with us. So that way it feels slightly less weird for us watching ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently booters, that does sound like Canadian slang, doesn't it? We've been watching a lot of Letterkenny lately.
It does. Yeah, we have. So,
which for those of you who haven't seen it, Letterkenny is a series on Hulu. Hulu is not paying us for this endorsement.
nor is Letterkenny.
Nor is Letterkenny, but they should.
They should.
We are influencers. I'm an internet influencer. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a professional. Right. So we've been watching a lot of that lately, and it takes place in Ontario for those who are unaware. So you end up hearing quite a bit of Canadian slang, and booter does definitely sound like Canadian slang.
It does. It does.
It's like, I don't know. I feel like there are certain words that just sound like they are slang from certain places.
Such as, like.
Well, all right, so booter, but also alternatively,
Freudleben?
huh?
Freudleben?
Freudleben sounds like it's slang from the Northeast, from the U.S. Northeast, like specifically the New York area.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to like I don't know, shirt grabber sounds like it might be Canadian slang. Whereas cornflogger sounds like that's Southern Appalachian slang.
Yeah, specifically Appalachian though.
Yeah, and whereas Wallabarang sounds like it would be Australian. These are made-up words, unless they are. If a Wallabarang is a real thing, and any Australian viewers are shirt grabber, is shirt grabber Canadian slang? I don't know. Sounds like it could be. Pitter patter. There we go. I missed some comments. If you wouldn't mind moving a second, scroll back up.
Also, Lush is here. Hooray!
Lush is here. Yay! I like it when Luscious shows up. She makes me feel like less of an alcoholic. It be true. There we go. So, all right, I'm hearing some nice sizzling over here. I'm going to try moving these around now.
It's starting to smell a lot like onion.
Yeah, there we go. It's starting to get brown. Yeah, that's all you got to do. Just let it sit for a little bit. Of course, you still need to flip it over, otherwise the bottom side burns and the upper side doesn't get cooked at all. So you do have to flip it around a bit, but you don't want to move it around too much, otherwise it won't brown at all. But I have ADHD, and so I have a hard time.
Is there anything we should be doing while these are browning?
Not really. Not really. If I had been smarter, I'd have picked a second recipe that we could have made whilst these are browning.
Yeah.
But I was kind of afraid of running out of time. Because, good chance I have a confession to make. Thank you very much. I initially thought that our show tonight with Life's Affair was going to be at 7 o'clock, which would mean that I would have to make sure that we get this show finished by 7 and no later and get off and over there. But no, turns out it's at 7 Central because the world is round.
So we actually have an extra hour. That being said, the more time we have in between, probably the better.
So yeah, we are going to go ahead and this is getting there.
Oh, no!
And it's all right. I only dropped a couple of onion rings. It's all right. It's all right. We should be fine.
This is so much onion.
This is so much onion. Very much onion. Very much onion. I was talking about something important. What was it? No, I keep getting distracted and thrown off and sent into other different directions. All right. We're going to be on Life's Affair. Booter is a slang term in Canada. Wallabarang sounds like it would be a slang term in Australia. Weekly beer.
Oh yeah.
That was it. That was the thing.
You're going to finish up my wine.
You don't have to finish up your wine. I mean, we have to hear move that forward just a bit. It doesn't need to be there right now. I'm not using it. And good chances are here on Foxy's cooking show, Cooking with Foxy. On Cooking with Foxy. Here on Cooking with Foxy, we have a tradition that every week we have a mystery brew. This week's mystery brew is Straffe Hendrik. Straffe Hendrik. Straffe Hendrik. Straffe Hendrik. I have no idea. It's Bruges Quadrupel Ale. So that's in Belgium, where they speak French, Dutch, and German.
Opening it? It looks like it's in.
How do we go about it? Well, it's very much like a champagne bottle, you see.
Oh no, is it gonna go floosh everywhere?
It will go floosh.
Oh, no.
Hopefully it won't go too floosh. I will try to make it go as little floosh as possible. And it shouldn't go overly floosh. But
It'll still go floosh.
But I'm reading that sentence, but it's not making sense.
To another.
Oh, it's a response to another.
They're making cakes. Apparently, a couple people
Very good.
made cakes before this.
Good day to you, Gene. Good to see you. I lost track of things. So
We're
yeah,
gonna open the floosh.
points of Belgian beer. Let's give it a go. Now it's not going to go that. First of all, nothing's going to happen yet. I'm just taking off the little metal thingy.
Getting it out of its cage.
There's a word for this, I'm sure. I wonder what the word is for this.
It's the cage.
Hey, now I take this part off.
Beer cage.
It's up. It's all right. It's all right. And we're good. It fell right into the butter tub. Went that way and right into here.
Wow, that's some finesse.
I made a basket. 3 points for Gryffindor. Except I'm in Ravenclaw.
Wow,
So
you're such a sport. A sporty sport.
I'm kind of dumb for a Ravenclaw, aren't I? I'm going to flip this over again because it smells like it could use a flip.
My eyes. Oh my gosh, my eyes still hurt from those onions.
They're don't worry, they're caramelizing. They're starting to caramelize. They're cooking. The butter is getting absorbed.
So
Side note, part of the reason why we're using this beer as our mystery brew for the week is because Ross is going to be using it in the soup. And I'll get to that in a minute as to why we're putting beer in the soup, aside from the obvious, which is, duh, why not? Why wouldn't you? There's no reason not to. I don't need to justify the placing of beer into my soup. Not to you, not to anyone, mother.
It's okay.
It's all right.
It's okay.
It's all right.
Just sit back.
It's all right.
Enjoy the
Just
roses.
enjoy the roses.
Enjoy
Where are the roses?
Onions.
There are onions. These aren't roses. These are onions.
Onions bloom.
They do.
Roses.
I feel like I'm actually sitting in a padded cell somewhere talking to myself.
I'm
And
just
there's a
figment
couple
your
of
imagination.
doctors looking
As
through
we've
the.
established.
There's a couple of doctors looking through the. There's a couple of doctors looking through the window and the door, going, "Wow, he's kind of hot." And no, they're not gay. They're women.
What the fuck are we talking about?
You assumed they were men.
I didn't assume.
I
anything.
joke. I'm just playing with you.
I'm also a Ravenclaw. Beefy thumbs.
You're a Ravenclaw?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. I didn't know you were a Ravenclaw.
I've said it before.
You have?
Yes.
I'm very dumb for a Ravenclaw. What the heck? All right.
Try the things.
Right, beer.
Try the beer.
Let's try this
Try
beer.
the beer. How do you like it?
It's pretty good. Definitely very earthy. Kind of. Oh, I'm not really sure. It's interesting. It's very. Here, give it a go. It's nuanced. Because it's also got just a tiny little bit of a fruity aftertaste.
Ooh, actually, I like that.
This is an interesting beer.
I like that.
All right, I'm going to measure off as much as we need for the recipe, which is, what was it?
Wow,
3/4 of a
like
cup to a full cup of ale? Yeah. No, it says half a cup to a full cup. In fact, cup
Full
and a
cup?
half.
A cup and no, because I want to have some more.
Oh, fine,
flavor.
full cup.
Full cup.
Full cup.
Just a cup.
Just a cup. Make sure we got a cup. There you go.
It's like a cup and a third. See, it's the best of both worlds.
Indeed. So we got some set aside.
This is like.
Would you like a glass of
like
your own?
a legitimately good.
This is a very interesting beer.
I think it's an ale, actually.
Well, it is an ale, yes, but beer is ale. An
Well,
ale is beer.
it doesn't have hops.
What?
No, this one doesn't have hops, though.
Oh, is that the difference? That is the difference, isn't it? I wasn't.
The
thinking.
ale does not have the hops like the beer does.
Here, well, let me pull this back here just for a second. There we go. Thank you. So yeah, this is an interesting tasting beer. It's nuanced, but it's like it's complex, which is usually a term used to describe wine, but I'll use it to describe beer. This is a complex beer, and I'm interested to see how the taste of this beer will affect the soup if these onions ever finish browning. Which is said 10 minutes, but it's been closer to 15.
Do you have the heat low?
Huh?
Low setting, or is it up as high as it goes?
It's up as high as it goes.
Well, that is a lot of onions for one pan, so.
That is a lot of onions. Maybe I should have grabbed a bigger pan.
Yeah.
But that being said, I think it is far enough along that we can start adding a couple more ingredients. Specifically,
The stock?
oh, there's a few more ingredients here. Just a second. Not the stock, not yet. We're going to need a big pot for that. So let's add a few more ingredients. Let us start off with the olive oil.
Okay.
Reach down under there. There should be a little dip. A vial.
What?
Take off the lid to this vial. And look how much olive oil was that? It's written there.
Oh, it is 2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons of olive oil.
I suspect this might be one where you can maybe, use your heart just a little bit.
Use your heart, but Yeah,
Well, during
two
it as the
tablespoons.
recipe calls.
Just gives you a little bit of, just get that, just a little bit of olive oily flavor and a little bit more grease in there. Because you can't have it. You can also add more butter, or you can take out the butter and just add more olive oil. Really, it's up to you. But this recipe does call for both butter and olive oil, and we also need to add two other things into here.
Mm-hmm.
If you can reach under there, we've got
Top shelf.
salt.
I believe that's this.
That is salt. Read off how much salt.
You need how much salt? Where is the salt? There it is. 1 teaspoon.
1 teaspoon
1 teaspoon.
of salt.
1 teaspoon of salt.
And take a look in there and see there's one other thing. That is sugar, I believe.
Yes, sugar. 1 tablespoon.
1 tablespoon
Sugar.
of a sugar.
Yes, sugar.
And then mix that in. Mix that in good. Flip it around a few times. Mix it about. Very nice. And these onions are starting to smell nice. They're starting to caramelize nice.
Yeah,
They're nice and soaked.
Very good.
They've soaked up the butter and the oil very nicely. And we're going to leave them in there for a couple more minutes. And then it will be ready to add more stuff to it and start turning it from a pile of onions into onion soup.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That does look like a tasty pile of onions, though.
and good gentles all, while we are doing this, I would like to point out the book that this came from. The book that we have taken this recipe from is Just in Time. If you could hold that book up to the audience so they can see the cover of that. Just in Time is a book of medieval themed recipes, and I would like
That's
to say
actually not the
medieval.
name of this.
What?
I just noticed that's not the name of that book.
What is it?
It's actually called Time and Place.
Is that not what I said?
Yeah, no, you said Just in Time.
No, that's the name of my boots.
Yeah, is it? No, that's not the name of your boots. Well, not your current boots.
Not my current boots. My current boots are Son of Sandler, but my last pair of boots, my last 2 or 3 pairs of boots, I believe. I don't know. I go back and forth.
Either way.
Just in Time is the guy who makes my boots.
Yes. Anyway, so
Time and Place
the Time and Place
is the name of the
is the name
cookbook.
of the cookbook.
Cookbook.
So this is one that we actually got pretty early on in the days of this cooking show.
We just never really
We've had
dedicated a great deal of
We've
time to
had
it.
it since August, but we haven't really dedicated a whole lot of time to it.
We just sort of take a recipe here and a
it's-
recipe there as it suits us
It's
from
like
time
a
to
good
time.
filler book. Because like unlike the medieval cookbook, it doesn't have like actual medieval recipes with sources. It has period inspired.
You see, good gentlemen, I have a confession to make. Thank you very much. And that confession is that we have become snooty little bastards.
We have become some snoots.
And if a cookbook is going to say that it does medieval recipes, but it's just, where are your sources? Do you even have a bibliography?
And like there's some
there's
stuff
no
in here that is
bibliography.
there's very obvious ingredients in here that aren't period in the slightest, and it's like, well, this is period inspired. But that being said, the recipes that it does have are tasty.
Oh, it's very tasty recipes.
Like some of our very, very tasty recipes that come from this book.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to this onion soup. I think it's going to taste very nice. And I missed some of the comments, so I'm going to bring that back. I'm going to bring that back up here just a bit, so I can see. Gene is a Hufflepuff.
Ooh.
Either that or he's a Hufflepuff, which is a very different house. It's kind of like Animal House.
I bet.
But apparently, Ron has found that according to the Googles, this little dealio is a mousselet.
A mooselet.
A mousselet. 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 Mousselet.
And a mooselet.
Indeed. Oh, I haven't got to go to Belgium once.
Ooh. I still have yet to be to any part of Europe, so hopefully maybe we'll do a European tour.
Kathy has just arrived. So far you have not missed all that much. So far, we are making an onion soup today, and so far we've got 2 pounds of onions, which we have sliced, going crossways so that you get the rings, And you get the long onion dealies like that. That's what you're going for. These long, thin strands of onions. And you got the onions in this pan, and they've been browning for going on 20 minutes now. And they're just about ready to move on to the pot, I think.
They had moose in Belgium.
What?
I didn't know they had. I thought those were a strictly North American thing.
I'm pretty sure that Abby is making a reference to a Monty Python sketch.
Oh, that would make more sense. I'm very uncultured, I'm sorry.
Although I don't know, maybe there are moose in Belgium. I've never been there.
I don't think so, because I'm pretty sure you would have to import a moose, which is...
Were you at a zoo? Is this one of those riddles where we have to ask yes or no questions?
I've never even been to a zoo that had a moose.
You've never been to a zoo that had a moose?
No.
Do zoos not have moose?
Generally speaking, no.
Why not?
A couple of reasons. I mean, for one thing, they aren't really endangered, at least in, some places. So most places don't have them because they aren't really at risk of extinction. And apart from that, they're really, really aggressive. So
actually, it was at a nature preserve that Luscious saw the moose. I mean, Abby.
Oh, so, okay.
Or Abby saw the moose.
That's interesting.
The Alaska Zoo had a moose.
I didn't know moose were native to Belgium. Unless they were like, what this nature preserve needs? A fucking moose.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Get a moose.
A bunch of Belgians are like, let's take an American moose and put it in our Belgian forest. That will keep the Germans up next time.
We're going to put it on a plane or maybe a boat.
Oh, yeah.
Import the moose.
Sounds like a good idea. I'm in favor. I am in favor of it. I see that Galen has arrived. Hello, Galen. Good to see you. So in our pan here, we got our onions that we have sliced crossways, so you get the onion rings. In there, with butter, olive oil, salt, and sugar. And it's been in there for...
Is there any other ingredients that we need to add to this?
What?
Like that one?
Well, at this point, there are quite a number of ingredients that we need to add.
All right.
But first, we're going to get this thing.
We're going to get a bowl.
We're going to get
a pot.
That's
which
pot.
Is also kind of a bowl.
A pot is sort of like a bowl, I suppose.
It's just a bowl.
It's a different kind of bowl.
Immune to fire.
Put that in there. I'm going to put this pot over here. And we are going to do two things. First, if I'm correct, I'm just going to double check to make sure I'm doing this right. Very good. All right. So first we're going to add one more thing to here. So I actually didn't need to pull the pot out yet, but it never hurts to be prepared with pot. Because who doesn't like being prepared with pot? Am I right?
Oh, I get it. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
I would like some confirmation here.
I didn't get it at first.
I would like validation.
Well, I'm stupid, so
so am I.
All right, what are we doing with this pot?
All right. Next thing, Faire.
Faire.
We got Faire.
Faire.
2 tablespoons of Faire. Because these onions are pretty caramelized, which means it's time to add the Faire.
Should I sprinkle it?
Sprinkle the Faire.
Sprinkle it.
Sprinkle in the Faire. And as you sprinkle in the Faire, I'm gonna stir it around, and this is to help thicken it up. Ooh, careful that it doesn't burn too much.
Ooh,
that's all right. Bring the heat down just a hair.
Well, floop it.
Flooping. I'm flooping. Put the Faire in.
Okay, I'm putting the Faire in.
Put the Faire in. Yeah, very good.
That's all the Faire.
That's all the Faire. And good. It didn't burn too much. It's just a little bit more caramelly on that side.
It smells very...
It does smell good.
That's how it smells.
And the Faire is just to soak up the rest of that butter, get it to thicken up nice. Let it cook for another couple of minutes. And once it's finished cooking, we are going to put it in the pot with the other stuff.
What else is going to go in the
So
pot?
first of all, let's put some stuff in the pot. So the first thing you're going to need is 4 cups of beef stock. So grab the thing of the beef stock.
We're using fake beef stock.
We are using fake beef stock.
Right.
So pour that into the big pot.
Sweet.
And we are using fake beef stock because this has butter in it, it's going to have cheese in it, and the pickiness of my ancient Hebrew ancestors dictates that I may not mix the milk with the meat.
I think you might want to remove the supercharged bit.
That supercharged bit?
Supercharged.
You really want to remove it?
I mean,
Fine.
it's just burnt.
Very
At this point, it has just become burnt.
There. All right. You also need 1 cup of chicken broth, which again, we are using fake chicken broth.
Tastes just as good, though.
Go ahead and turn the heat on that back thing.
Okay.
Now, good gentles all, this book, A Time and Place, is called A Time and Place partially because they base their book off of the calendar. This episode, this recipe rather, is associated in the book with April Fool's Day. Now, April Fool's Day is a long way away, but you know what's next week?
Shrove Tuesday?
Is it? No, that's the Tuesday before Ash Wednesday.
That's what it is. Oh,
Yesterday
no, that
was
yesterday.
Ash Wednesday.
Oh.
So this past Tuesday was in
missed
fact...
Shrove Tuesday!
Yes, we missed
Which is
Shrove.
also known as Fat Tuesday, which is also known as Mardi Gras.
That actually ties into what I'm getting at.
Oh,
What's
okay.
next week?
It's
Turn off that fire.
something.
Is that fire on? That fire is on. Good. Okay, let's put our onions into our brew.
Wait, what are you getting at?
What's next week?
Purim?
Thank you!
Oh, okay.
It's alright. It's alright. Next week is Purim. Purim's going to be on Thursday night. Which means, by the way, that next week's show might not be at 6 o'clock. I'm still figuring that out. We might do next week's cooking show a bit early. Because Purim starts Thursday night. So we're going to be doing a thing on Thursday night next week for Purim.
What are we doing?
Don't know yet.
The cooking show, or besides the cooking show?
Besides the cooking show.
Oh, we're gonna be doing another thing.
We're going to be doing a Purim special.
A Purim special?
Purim Foxy special, yes.
Ooh.
We're going to do a Purim Foxy fat foot. First this that. Purim Foxy special. It's going to be magical.
As in like a music show?
Yes, or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a Purim spiel. Or maybe, just maybe there'll be a Purim miracle. And I will get my hands on a scroll of the Book of Esther. And I will do a Megillah reading.
Maybe.
If there's a Purim miracle.
If there's a Purim miracle.
But those things cost like $800. So
They do.
I'm not going to hold my breath.
But still, it might be a miracle. There might be a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
I
There might
didn't know this was even happening until just the second. But I am happy to hear that it is happening.
Yay! So at some point in the week we will let the public know when our cooking show is going to be next week, and also what time we are going to do the cooking show and what time we're going to be doing the Foxy Purim special, Foxy special, Foxy Purim special. What else? That thing. We'll figure it out, and we're going to see how that's going to work. So
and that's going to be on Purim night. The Foxy Purim special?
What?
Purim night?
Probably.
Okay.
Unless you want to do it Purim day.
Purim night.
We could do it Purim day.
Purim night.
Purim night.
Purim night.
Purim night.
Purim night.
It's probably going to be late. But that's all right.
That's okay.
It's going to last a while, too. It might last for up to 3 hours. I don't know yet.
Whoa, okay.
I haven't decided.
Well.
I haven't decided, and I still don't know. Shall we do the show of Ralph the Wonder Llama?
I don't know what that is.
It's Monty Python. At any rate, broth, chicken broth, beef broth, onions, more stuff goes in here. So let's get the herb chopper.
Ear chop.
Why am I unable to word now?
You are very much struggling with those words.
I am struggling. All right, so let's get the bay leaves.
2 bay leaves.
Now, these are fresh bay leaves.
They're not fresh. I think that you can use dried.
You can use dried. But we're going to use fresh.
It's easier to obtain than fresh ones.
If you do dried, I would not suggest chopping them up and putting them in there. I would suggest putting them in their whole so that you can remove them later.
Yes.
Because they do the dried ones tend to be kind of, but the fresh ones are soft enough, I think, that you can just chop them up nice and fine.
But you gotta chop them up like really, really fine.
You do have to chop them really, really fine. Which is why we are using this special onion chopper, herb chopper that has been granted to us. Yeah, that works. By
Lush. We put this out many times in the show before, but we're still super psyched about it.
We're still super psyched. So we got 2 bay leaves, which are just about chopped up enough. There we go.
Did I chop it enough?
Chop it. Just about.
I think that's good. That looks pretty fine. That looks like a dust. It's like a bay leaf dust.
Indeed.
The dust.
Bay leaf dust. So let's take that bay leaf dust and put it. Sorry, sink started gurgling. Take that bay leaf dust and put that bay leaf dust into
Shove it in the thing.
our zup.
The zoop.
Very good. Put that over here. And you know what I could use from down here? I know I have one. Spoon! The ladle will be for serving later.
Ah.
So let's mix those Baileys in there. Very good. We have a couple more ingredients to add. A few more ingredients to add here. So now we got those Baileys in there. Move you over here. Bring that over here. Bring that over here. Because we got over here some brown sugar.
There's a lot of sugar in this.
Yeah, there's a lot of sugar in this. Are you?
More than I expected. I'm willing to give it a chance. Still.
I believe this is 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Oh, now I. Oh, there we go.
There it goes. And
The
now,
longer brown sugar sits, the more it dries out, but it's still good. You just got to make sure that it dissolves all the way.
And now there's this, right?
Hmm? Yes, and now there's this, which is a teaspoon
Of Worcestershire sauce.
of Worcestershire
Worcestershire sauce.
Worcester sauce.
Worcester. It's
Worcester.
Worcester sauce.
Worcester.
Or Worcestershire.
Not Worcester.
Worcestershire.
Worcester.
No. Just put it in the pot.
That's if you live in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Exactly. Okay, so let's put that in there.
That's the ingredient in this that we can't really figure out if that's.
Is that period?
We don't know.
Is
I
Worcestershire sauce, period. I don't know.
Who knows?
But I
Not us.
not us. Somebody knows. I'm sure somebody knows. I would like to find out who knows.
We did prep this one nicely. Thank you.
And I believe that that's all that goes in there for now. There's still a few more things that we need to put in here. But not now.
But not now.
Because right now, that just needs to sit there for, well, it depends. Because there's no, oh my goodness, I almost forgot. There's a reason I'm making it this week. The onion soup. So there's a reason why this is a Fool's Paradise onion soup, which is to say, associated with April Fool's Day, because there's one more very important ingredient that I almost forgot to put in there. The very important ingredient.
Oh, yeah, that.
And it's also why we're making this for Purim. Because this makes a very lovely Purim onion soup, because we are going to now add a cup of beer, which just makes it a little bit more interesting.
This is actually an ale, is what it means. It's not quite a beer, but an ale.
Whatevs. This tastes
I suppose
good.
you could add a beer too. It doesn't really matter.
This tastes good, and I'm
very tasty.
I am feeling confident and looking forward to how that taste of this very, very interesting beer is going to interact with all the other ingredients. Are you looking forward to this?
I am.
So this needs to cook for anywhere from 5 to 45 minutes, depending on how much alcohol you want left in there. We're going to leave them in there for only a little while. Because we want alcohol in our soup. Yay.
Let's do more things. Ready?
Yeah.
No.
Oh. Very good. I've been missing a lot of the comments, by the way. Just going to screw this up a little bit.
Screw this up.
Whatever. I would also like to say that I miss Raleigh as well.
Me too. Me too.
Obviously, we've all watched Holy Grail too much. That goes without saying.
Yeah.
Holy Grail is just one of those things that you must. And I believe Hannah is right. We should use that as our sign-off intro at some point.
What?
That thing. Yeah. That is our new either sign-off or intro. We'll decide later whether, how, to what, to it, where, off-wise, blank. All right, that's going to be there for about 5 minutes, which gives us more than enough time to do a thing. I'm going to preheat this to 350 degrees.
What thing are we doing?
We are going. This goes with the soup. This is with the soup.
Oh, it doesn't.
This goes with the soup. So I'm gonna. Should have prepared this ahead of time, but I didn't. That's a tiny one. Why don't I want that tiny one? I want the bigger one. Where's the bigger one? Where's the bigger one?
I don't know.
Oh, it's over there.
What are you making?
Huh?
Jesus, what are you making?
We are making the next thing that goes with this.
Oh.
There's a thing that goes with this. That goes with the soup.
Okay.
So, I have a cookie sheet. I'm going to put the tin foil on the cookie sheet.
Okay.
We're using cleanup. And we are going to prepare the bread.
Oh, the bread.
Yes.
The bread. I
This
didn't
is
know
bread.
it needed to be a bit more prepared other than just cut up. But
No. We need to toast it.
We're
We're going to toast it. We're going to toast it with cheese on it. We're going to take toasty cheese. And the toasty cheese is going to be served with the soup.
Hooray.
It's going to be
Sounds
tasty.
and delightful.
It's going to be very tasty and very delightful because then, of course, the toasty bread, the toasty cheesy bread, will give us something to sop up the soup with, you see. That's part of the idea. All right, so we got that. Set that over here. I'm going to turn the heat down on this just a bit. Let that simmer for a while. Very good. Stay there. You go here. And let's pull out das Brot. Is it der Brot? Das Brot? Die Brot?
Boot? Are
No,
you
boot.
bootering again?
Brot.
You're bootering?
No, not bootering. Brotering.
What does that mean?
Brot.
Yes. What does that mean? What does that mean, Foxy?
Das ist Brot.
Oh, a boot?
Never mind. It's not a brute. Is that not? It is a. Never mind. I'm gonna cut this. And we're gonna arrange it up there. Cut it into slices. However thick you want your slices. What do you think? Twig. That good? As far as thickness of slice?
That is good.
That seems good.
That's good.
Now, the recipe, by the way, calls for a French baguette. But I am not going to use a French baguette.
Screw the French.
Screw French baguette. Instead, we are using rosemary sourdough because it's tasty.
You like it?
We did not buy, we purchased, no, make. We did purchase. We did not make this bread.
Yeah.
We bought this bread.
We bought that
I was
bread.
about to say we didn't buy it, we stole it.
Which would be in character.
It's
But, we are not actually that cool. So we bought it. We
Nah.
made money.
We're not the sort of poor people who steal bread.
Gotta still eat.
That would
Gotta
be-
eat to live.
Tell you more about it when I got the time. Oh, you were doing it from the last part, and I was doing it from the first part.
I don't know.
Were you about? I feel like you were just about to do the otherwise we get along verse.
No, actually, I just jumbled my words.
Yeah, I do it all the time. Would you like the butt?
I do like the butt.
Do you want the butt right now?
Yeah.
That butt. That the
just-
butt.
Just leave
What-
it
what?
on the table.
You want the butt? You want to eat my butt? Eat that butt? Eat the butt.
I'm gonna eat that
bread.
butt with that butt.
Eat that bread, butt.
You want to eat my
Maybe
bread
for
with
five.
the butt? I don't know.
I think more than 5. Let's do 6.
Man, that reference
7.
is so old. I don't think the kids would even get it.
Some of the kids might get it if they're well educated in
Like me,
in
from the
internet
ancient
archaeology.
times.
in the history of the early web.
You want that in my butt? In my butt? I mean, admittedly, I was familiar with the Butters version before the actual version.
So was I, and I lived through it. But then again, I was not very well versed with the interwebs when it first became,
My parents
because I
were
was an
actually-
uncool child.
My parents were
I was a
convinced
very
that
uncool
YouTube,
child.
which is the platform we are on right now, they were convinced that YouTube was like the pathway to Satan or something. I don't know. They didn't trust it. They thought it was like a place for bad people. And they were like, you can't go on YouTube. And that might have been why, because of the butt video.
Butt video?
I don't know. It's just a theory. I don't even
That's
know
a theory.
I don't know if
They may not have even been aware of the butt video.
Yeah.
It could have just be the Fox told them that the internet was evil.
I think that might have actually been the case.
I try not to get political on this show, but sometimes you just can't help.
We give it a real college try.
Give a college try. Pitter patter, let's get at her. All right, then we take some cheese. So we got our breads all laid out on the sheet. We've got our sweat dripping into our eye.
That is just. Oh, okay. Well, as long as it's not in the food.
It's not in the food, it's in my eye. I'm good. All right, take your cheese. You got white cheddar cheese, that's about a cup's worth. And just sprinkle it on top of these pieces of bread, these slices of bread. There's a part of me that actually, you know what? I'm gonna before I put the butter on, before I put the cheese on, I'm gonna put some butter on these slices of bread. The recipe does not actually call for putting butter there, but I just feel in a mood and I want to put some butter on there.
Put some butter on it.
I've got to put some butter on it.
I feel like that might be a bad idea, but okay.
Why would that be a bad idea?
I don't know. What if it explodes?
From butter?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen butter never mind, I
I've
actually
exploded
have.
from butter before.
From butter, but have you seen it explode?
I mean, probably.
Probably?
I don't know. This is a trick question.
How is it a trick question? What exactly is the trick?
Butter.
Oh gosh, Anders. Nah, wrong butter.
I plead the fifth.
Do you?
Yes.
Pleading the fifth is not very good yes-anding, you know that, right?
I don't know.
That's alright.
Well, much like dying, it's a great way to get out of the scene.
It is. It is. Is that how we should end our shows from now on?
Dying.
We just both die and just wait for the audience to walk away.
I mean,
that could be a new aspect of our live show. Once the world reopens, we're just gonna die on stage at the end of every show.
Wait till they go away.
Wait until they go away.
What if they check our pulse?
Are they gone yet? What?
What if they check our pulse?
I don't know. Cry sexual harassment? I don't know how this works.
Clearly.
Oh wait, you said pulse. I thought you meant purse.
Wait, so do we put the cheese on top of the butter?
We're gonna put the cheese on top of the butter.
Oh, okay, but what if the cheese slides off because of the butter?
It's not gonna. It's gonna stick. I'm pretty sure. But I'm confident in this. Are you not confident? Because if you're not confident and this doesn't work, then I will say that it was your lack of confidence that did it.
You say that anyway.
Huh?
You say that anyway.
Yes, because it is. Unless you're confident. Are you going to be confident?
Have you ever considered that maybe my confidence
Be confident!
isn't...
Be confident! I'm sorry, that was a random reference.
Yes, it was. But have you ever considered that maybe my confidence isn't actually a factor and maybe your stupidity is? Calling you.
You know what? You know what?
Foxy, call out post.
You know what?
I'm
it can be both.
Stating
it
facts.
Can be both. It can be both.
Go can it.
It can. It can be your confidence and my stupidity. Why not both? Why just one or the other? Have you ever asked yourself that?
No, put the bread.
Whatever, I'm going to put the bread in the oven. All right, let's move this over.
Bread in the oven.
And the oven goes in the bread.
It's
no. The oven goes in the bread.
The
bread goes in the...
The oven.
Robin. The Robin goes in the dead. And the bread goes in the... I'm good. I'm good. So that goes in there until it's golden brown, which basically means we're just going to have to check on it every now and then. So
what
probably...
do we do in the meantime?
Well, I'm going to stir this a little bit more, and I think this is just about done.
Wow.
That's just about done. Well, we don't want to cook it for too long because we don't want to lose that alcohol, do you?
No, I don't.
Do you?
No.
No. So if you want to lose the alcohol, then you want to cook this for like a good 45 minutes or so. But if you don't want to lose the alcohol, then just that should be enough. Let's turn off that heat. I finished my beer.
Me too.
But I'm going to go ahead and take this. Good times all. Back in December, we brewed some mead. This is some of the last of it. Not quite the last of it. There's a bit left. And today we are starting a new batch of mead, which shall be ready in another month.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned my lessons. One lesson is do not put in too much yeast, otherwise it will taste of sock.
Mm-hmm.
Second lesson, use a siphon, not a cheesecloth, or else it will taste of sock.
Mm-hmm.
And third lesson, even if it tastes of sock, it's still got alcohol in it. Who gives a damn? So yeah, I think that we're about ready to start serving the soup.
The fourth lesson is that I have a small bladder.
Is that, wait, We are fine. What else? Let me take a quick look at that bread. Needs a bit more time. It's only been in there about 3 minutes. But, yeah, let me move that over there, move that over there, and the butter came back in the fridge. Once butter goes back in the fridge, it won't melt. Because if it melts, then it gets all down the crack. And no, quiet. All right, brothers, bowls. Bowls is what I need. Here are bowls. I also need a ladle, which should be in the back and back here. There we go. Let us start ladling out our zuppa. Oh, that was nice. We got the onions streaming down, which is that was what we were going for. That was what we were aiming for. Let's go ahead and fill that up. So we got our first bowl, which will be for either me or Twig when Twig gets back. We have found that Twig has a small bladder. Good, gentles all, if you enjoy the show that you see here today, then I would very much encourage you all to leave to click the like button. Share this with your friends. Click the subscribe button if you have not done so already. Put a comment in the down there, so that way the YouTube algorithm thinks I'm popular. Tonight at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, we will be performing with Life's a Faire. Come watch us, because we're going to have to watch us. So if you watch us while we watch us, it'll make us feel just a little bit less self-conscious about watching ourselves. Because watching ourselves is a bit of a, it's a thing. It's a thing. This Saturday night, come join us at 9 o'clock for Foxy's drinking hour, where we will be drinking.
And singing.
And singing. Join us this Sunday at 2 o'clock for Foxy's hangover hour, where we will be drinking.
And singing.
And singing. Join us Thursday, a week from now, for Cooking with Foxy. Time of day to be determined. And join us Thursday, a week from now, time of day to be determined, for Foxy's Purim special. What are we going to do at the Purim special?
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet, but we're going to do something.
We're going to do something.
And it will involve drinking.
Well, that's part of Purim, so this time it's religiously mandated.
It is indeed.
For him, but also...
Indeed. Also for you.
For me, I guess.
Yeah, you are in my custody.
Is it...
I suppose.
No.
What? Custody was the wrong word. That implies a different kind of relationship.
Yeah, no.
Are you alright with that relationship?
No.
No?
No.
I'm going to look at the bread.
No.
I'm going to check the bread.
But I will use it as an excuse to drink.
Very well. Let's take a look over here. That is just about done. Give it 1 more minute. I want to make sure that the cheese and the bread and the butter are properly melted.
No.
Well, don't stick your foot in front of it. You knew I was moving it. If the soup gets all over the floor, it's your fault.
This is where my leg is comfortable.
All right. So, yeah, Saturdays, 9 o'clock. Sundays, 2 o'clock. Thursdays, generally at 6 o'clock, but this upcoming Sunday, possibly not a different Thursday. No. This upcoming Thursday, probably a toss of the different time of day at this Thursday when we are Thursdaying to the whatever. Purim night, Thursday night, Purim next week, Jewish holiday, where you drink.
What's in that bottle?
Which bottle?
The red one.
There's a red bottle?
There's a red bottle.
Where?
Well, it's mystery. It's a
over
mystery.
there?
I'm gonna drink it.
Oh, that's a bit of Blackbriar.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that then. How did this get so low?
Huh?
How did this get so low?
Because that's the one that wouldn't fit in the other bottle yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Not yesterday, 2 days ago.
Well,
No, it was yesterday. Yesterday was when we walked 8 miles to Blackjack Taylor.
Yes.
Yes.
It was.
Yes, indeed. If you would like to walk 8 miles with us in Blackjack Taylor, just let me know. Send me a DM. Move forward.
Well,
forward.
also try to be in the tri-state area.
Also try to be in the tri-state area.
But also maybe a little bit outside the tri-state area.
I don't know if it's passed with a fact. Oven mitt.
Oven mitt.
The lack of wording is really starting to get interesting. All right, that looks nice. That has got cheese. It is slightly toasted. Got butter, buttery, cheesy, toasty
I feel
goodness.
like it needs a little something on top.
You want to put something on top?
Yeah.
You know, let's put some chives on it.
Put some chives on it.
Put some chives on it.
Put some chives.
Where are the chives?
They're probably behind the thingies.
Behind which thingies?
Here, I got you.
All right, I'm going to pull out the cardamom.
I got you.
And
I got you.
You got it? Are you sure? Because I can't. You can reach it.
Okay,
there we go.
There you go.
There are the chives. Let's put some chives on it.
We might have to start growing chives.
Might have to start growing chives. And we got some chives on our bread. Now, are you ready to try the soup?
Are you ready to try that soup?
Let us try this soup.
It smells delicious.
So, according to the book, it is meant to be served with the bread on top of the soup.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's like French onion soup.
Yeah.
It's basically French onion
It's basically French onion soup with ale. So let's try our French onion soup. Oh, with ale. I'm looking forward to this. Are you?
I am.
Oh, that's very good. Oh my goodness. Oh, it keeps changing as I eat it.
Ooh. Oh, that's tasty.
It's savory, but it's also sweet.
It is. That is some tasty soup.
Oh, goodness. Oh, this is delightful. Oh, goodness, I love it. I love it.
No, this is good. This is really good.
This is glorious.
This is very, very good.
I'm going to have some of the bread. Oh, hot. It makes for good sop. Put in a little bit of bread, sop that up with the liquid. A little bit of cheese on top with some chives on it. And
I do like my sops though, so.
Indeed, this is delicious. It's utterly delicious. I love it.
Yeah, no. Again, this cookbook, we don't use it very often, but it has
very
very
good recipes
stuff
in it.
Yeah.
Very good recipes indeed. Good, gents all. I do hope that you have enjoyed this edition of Cooking with Foxy, which we finished in about an hour and 2 minutes.
This is probably, aside from maybe the first episode, this is probably the shortest one we've ever done.
Indeed.
So
join us in about an hour. There's a link in the down there to Life's a Faire.
And if any of you actually do make these recipes, I highly recommend this one.
This is a good one. This is a very good one. This is a very good one. Feel free to buy our album on bandcamp.com, foxybard.bandcamp.com. Become a patron on patreon.com/foxybard, where you can vote on what our next cook is going to be. The choices are Scheherazad's Feast,
which is Middle Eastern medieval cooking.
Heroes Feast,
which is a fancy D&D themed cookbook,
and medieval cooking for today's kitchen,
which is kind of like
this, except it has sources.
It's sort of medieval inspired stuff, but also has sources.
It has sources.
So,
and which gives me a slight.
I'm assuming it's also centered on probably medieval Europe.
Yes. So medieval Europe, fantasy, or medieval Middle Eastern.
It's D&D, which is what I was saying if that one wins. So. No, we gotta do this thing. Are you ready? And the credits roll up.
Indeed.
Alright,
See you
like
next.
and subscribe, of course, and subscribe to Patreon. Donate to the Patreon, and yeah.